Hello, everyone. Welcome to the War Show 210. My name is Ray, and I'm back with another prediction show for this massive Memorial Day weekend of wrestling. It's so big, I actually had to bring in a very special guest, Unavailable Try Again, aka D, a man who I've known actually for over 10 years, I believe. Does that sound all right?
Yes,
Okay, so,
not that much.
but as far, well, we'll get into as far as predictions, but that being said, we'll get into the prediction show for WWE Blood Money, Night of Champions. We'll start off with the ladies and in no particular order, but I will go ahead with the level of importance and interest. Number one, first, we have Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Vegas has the EST as a minus 715 favorite with Asuka as a plus 333 favorite. So, in other words, what that means is for you to win $100 for Bianca Belair, you have to bet $715 to 100. But so far, I agree with Vegas with Belair being the favorite. But my first thought for this match is why? Belair has already beaten Asuka at WrestleMania 39. Did WWE not have anyone else to book, or did Vince just forget? Like, what do you think, D?
At this point, I don't even know what they're doing with Oscar and Bianca. I mean, you would think that with the brand switch, they would have some new competitors as soon as they would get to the new brand, but of course not. What does WWE brand new same old WWE things? They move them both from Raw to SmackDown with the Raw Championship, mind you, that they just fought for at WrestleMania, just to do it again. I have no idea, and I'm with Vegas. I don't see Bianca losing this title to Oscar at all. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it doesn't make sense for her to, as far as drop the belt here, especially not the Asuka. It's not the right time, so they definitely need to push her there. But okay, and second match going on, we have Rhea Ripley versus Natalia. Vegas has Rhea as the highest odds-on favorite at a whopping minus 1,425 to win this weekend. That is actually
Jeez.
more than MGF, who's actually minus 1,000. That the pick is obvious. Bet the house on Rhea, but again, I ask why. Was there no one else that Rhea could have faced? What do you think, D?
I'm guessing with injuries and pregnancy that Natalia was just the go-to. I mean, it seems like whenever you get a new champion and you have nobody else for her to face, it's like, hey, Natalia, you still work here, right? Let's just get you in there and yeah, get your match in there. When was the last time Natalia has actually won a match? Like
God, I
you
don't
would think
remember.
that even before they would have her fighting the champion for the championship, she would have won a match in sometime in recent memory. I honestly think the last time she won a match was maybe a year or two ago.
I
Dana Brooke
don't
has probably
remember.
won a match
I mean, you might as well just put
since
on
the
Dana
last
Brooke.
time Natalia has won a match.
It's all the
Yes,
same, to be
this is
honest.
just insert female here. Tamina, Natalia. Just that seems to be what this was. This wasn't a build up. This was just like, yeah, this was basically just insert female here. I mean, you had the young lady of what's her name? I'm sorry. Uh, from the LWO,
Oh, Zelina
Alistair
Vega,
Black's old lady. Yeah, you had her
the
last week
cutie.
for no reason because they were in Puerto Rico. Yeah. But you have, I guess, Natalia this time is, like I said, insert wrestler here for Rhea to just feast on.
I think yeah, they're trying to feed Natalia to Rhea Ripley, but I mean, I guess to make her look strong. But Rhea's already pretty good. I don't know what else they could do as far as to put her. Maybe they'll try to do a rematch at SummerSlam with Charlotte Flair at one point, at some point. But I believe she's coming back. But yeah, they could have picked a better opponent. But still, I'm sure it sounds like you agree as well. You have Rhea winning over, right?
I definitely agree, and I agree that they could have had anybody. I mean, Shotzi, Raquel. Now that whatchamacallit is hurt. Now that her partner is hurt. Liv Morgan. Uh, I mean, there's a plethora of women that they could have actually Nikki Cross, Dewdrop, or no, she has
Oh
her name back,
God.
Piper Nivens. I mean, there's a bunch of women that they could have actually had a program with, but I guess in the short notice, Natalia is just that plug and play safe bet.
Yeah, well, I think what's going to happen, and I mean, this is kind of like more future or fantasy booking, if you want to call it that. I think it looks like, or I can see both Rhea Ripley going against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 40. But I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. But I just feel like they could have found someone from NXT to wrestle her. But I don't know. It's all the same. But I guess they want to make her look good. But I think Rhea's already above the top echelon as far as top female wrestlers on the planet. But that being said, we'll move on to the next match. Something else that's a little bit more interesting. For the third match, we have Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, with Vegas giving the man minus 500 to win. This one, I don't think is as clear cut. I think Becky should win, but I would not be surprised if WWE try to swerve us here with Trish going over and booking a rematch at SummerSlam. So my pick is actually Trish. Who do you got, D?
You know, until Monday, I had Becky. I was like, Trish is gonna have to get a comeuppance for attacking Becky and calling her daughter stupid. But that promo from Becky was pretty fire. I'm gonna say she came for Trish on that one. And after that promo, it made me rethink that this might be something that they're gonna try to send into the summer. Try to milk this one for all they can, because you don't know how many times you're gonna have Trish. This is a dream feud. They both want to do it. So I'm gonna go with Trish, which is a surprise to me because I really thought it was gonna be Becky. And another topic on this match in particular that tells you the importance of this match in that Night of Champions. This match is going on, and Austin Theory is not even on the card.
Yeah.
They have a third women's match in Saudi Arabia for no title, but Austin Theory can't get on the card at Night of Champions. Tells you a lot about his title reign.
I mean, it is pretty bland. He's probably one of the most boring champions they have, and they're really trying to shove him down everyone's throat. He is definitely probably, I mean, safe to say, he's probably the new John Cena. The problem is he's not getting much of a reaction. Yet they're still
not as
forcing.
John Cena.
No, not even close. Yeah, like as far as not even good on the mic. I mean, hardly a decent worker, to say the least. But you're right. The fact they have 3 women's matches.
Hard.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 women's matches and all. But the one thing I will say, I'm just looking forward to seeing these women all. I mean, they're gonna be like full bodysuits, but I'm looking forward to seeing Trish in a bodysuit. Anyway, so we're both agreeing. Trish.
Well, I'm just looking forward to Trish and Becky. I think this is going to be a good match. I don't know how many people are looking forward to this one, but I think this is going to be, as long as Trish isn't rusty, like she's looked decent since she's been back. We know Becky is always going to be good. It's just like I said about Natalya, she's a safe bet because Natalya is going to give you a decent match. She's going to be technically sound. Everybody's going to come out pretty much, healthy, and it's going to be a decent match. And that's what I'm hoping for, except a little bit more, because Becky always gives us a little bit more. I'm not saying match of the night. Don't think it's going to be match of the night. No, I'm not going to say far from it, but I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm going to say is going to be the match of the night. But
yeah,
we'll get to that one later.
Oh, we absolutely will. But let's just say, I guess we'll both agree. We're both agreeing we're going to take the underdog with Trish Stratus, and I agree. I think I personally think it's mainly to have a rematch at SummerSlam. I believe that's originally what the plan was, but if you can make money off it, that's fine. But I guess we both would agree also, we're just glad that Lita is not in this match, because God, man, I cannot watch her. But Trish looked good at WrestleMania 39, so I feel like
she hasn't looked good lately.
No, she hasn't. She looks old, but Trish looked good at WrestleMania 39, so looking forward to this match. But we both also agree with Trish going over. Okay, and fourth match, moving on, going on to the men's matches. First one we have is Gunther versus Mustafa Ali, with Vegas giving Gunther minus 715. This is probably going to be a squash match with Gunther going over and Ali doing the job. Gunther is probably the second safest pick on Saturday's card, but no, this is just gonna be flat out an absolute squash match. I mean, I imagine just Gunther's gonna just destroy this guy. It's gonna be ugly, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Gunther. Who you got, D?
I'm hoping that it's not a squash. I like Mustafa Ali. I really like him as a person, and I like him as a character in the ring. I think his ring work is very good.
I agree.
I do think Gunther is gonna win, no matter how we want to slice
I
and
was
how
about to
good
say,
Mustafa
if you want
Ali
to put
is.
money on it, bro, like,
But again, but I am hoping that it's more than a squash, and I'll say that because I don't think that the Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes match, regardless, I will give predictions on that, but I don't think that's gonna last very long. So I think when you already have one short match on the card, when you have two people who can go like Mustafa Ali and Gunther, you give them some time. You give them at least 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, you can't give them a 5 minute squash, even though that's probably what they'll do to Mustafa
yeah,
Ali. I'm hoping that it's something because this has the potential to be a really good match. If I'm sure you've seen other Mustafa Ali and Gunther matches, and I'm talking even Gunther in NXT UK, his matches were great. I'm sure you. Well, I don't think he's going to be able to do with Mustafa Ali like he did with Ilya Dragunov or Drew McIntyre or
hmm
Sheamus. I don't think he's going to be able to like pound him like that little man with those shots to his chest like he does. Like, those chops are lethal.
hmm
Those chops are lethal. But I think he's gonna win, but I do think that if given enough time, this could be a really decent match. It's another one of those sleeper matches, like I said, with given the time could be really good.
it could be. I think it may be like possibly a short run or like a minute of offense or something, like or a comeback of some sort. I agree with you. Mustafa Ali is one of the most, if not the most, underutilized wrestler on that roster, who's actually good on the mic and as a great worker. Severely underutilized. I feel like he would do better as far as on television as opposed to say like Austin Theory. So I've seen this man cut some really good promos, especially that one time during the pandemic about walking on that paved
On the
road.
black and white one.
Fantastic, yes. Like just, but
Yes.
I just no. Like I think if you want to bet on, well, you never know. They are in Saudi Arabia in Jeddah. You never know. Maybe the prince probably wants Ali to win and he wants him to do the camel clutch and humble the jabroni, whatever. But
Not gonna lie to you, without Mansoor on this card right now, because I thought that Marseille and Mansour would have whatever their names are. And I thought that they might get on the card because they're in Saudi Arabia, but I would hope that maybe because of that they give Mustafa Ali a little more something because he's not winning. I
no.
don't think that they're gonna cut this title reign short. Mm-mm.
Well, I don't think
No.
they can actually put on
So I'm
Mansoor out there. To be honest, I'm sure the Saudis may be offended by what they're trying to
maybe
push. And Masih, or what's his name?
Marseille. I think that's how he says
You
it.
know what, dude? Just for
I,
laughs, I would like
they're
to max some
funny.
models out there. I would get a good kick out of that.
I think they're funny. I do think that they do their job, but I am gonna hope that Mustafa Ali can put on a good showing and at least show us something.
We'll see.
But
But
Gunther is definitely winning.
oh yeah, definitely Gunther Shipbuilder. That's put the house on it for sure. No, we actually put Rhea Ripley on the house. We'll put the car on it. All right. Next up, we get into what I think is kind of a triple main event in my opinion. We have Seth Joker Rollins versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Vegas has Rollins as a minus 400 odds favorite. I think this is wrong. This should be closer to a pick'em. And I believe it's due to the upcoming schedule time off that Seth has for the new upcoming Marvel movie. I will go against the grain and pick AJ to win, as I think the title has to be established as a premier belt and not as a y'all can't be Roman, so here's the third place belt. I say that due to the way WWE booking are pretty much the blame for this. They really kind of have to make up as far as them having to put up another belt. They really booked themselves in kind of in a corner by doing this. So to me, this is kind of like pretty much the third belt. But that being said, I will give the floor to D on this one. Who you got?
I not gonna go that route with it, especially with AJ Styles actually saying that this is a secondary belt, and this is basically the belt because nobody can beat Roman. I mean, he just actually came out and said that. But I'm giving this to Seth Rollins. This has been pretty much played out as Seth Rollins' title. I mean, from the moment it's of its inception and Triple H unveiled it, Seth Rollins has done nothing but talk about it. He had a pay-per-view match with Omos, and he spoke about wasn't that pay-per-view match at WrestleMania, and he spoke about winning the championship over anything about his opponent. everything about this title is for Seth Rollins. And then when you look at it from the other side, it would make no sense to put the title on AJ unless they're trying to do some kind of massive, and I mean massive swerve. It would make Fox look like idiots. You do a draft in which you can pick whoever you want out of a pool of people. You pick the OC just to have them go into a title match and now go back to Raw. Why? Then from a WWE standpoint, you have them on Raw. You move them to SmackDown because remember, when you have the OC, you don't just have AJ Styles. You have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and you have Minchin. You move them. So if he wins the title's not going to SmackDown because Roman is already there. The whole purpose of the title is for it to be on Raw. You have to move the entire group back to Raw to feud with who? Imperium? I'd rather see them fighting, the bloodline, the brawling brutes, somebody over there, especially because they're already on SmackDown. So with all of this kind of jumping through hoops to have to move them back and forth, I personally think that they're going to give the title, they're going to put it on Rollins because Rollins throughout the history of him being in WWE seems to have been that dude to be there no matter what and still fulfill all of his media obligations. He seems to care about the title. And I mean, and the character that he has now is red hot. I think we can both admit when his music pops, the crowd goes crazy. Everybody stops just to go, oh, oh. So
God, don't get me started on that.
I don't see how they don't put it on him. Hey, whether you like it or not, the people.
He's over. He's over.
The whole completely over. Completely over. And on top of that, this right here is probably going to be the match of the night.
I agree.
I don't know how you get AJ Styles and Seth Rollins in a ring for a championship, and these two aren't going all out. I'm excited to see the different ways that they're going to try to do the Styles Clash or the Stomp or Pedigree, the Phenomenal Forearm. Whoever wins is going to be a great match. It's going to be a phenomenal match. But I do think that at the end, even though you already know AJ Styles is in my top 3 of favorite wrestlers that I just love. I love to watch AJ Styles work. I think that this is for Seth Rollins. I'm a big fan of Seth Rollins. I've loved his work through the pandemic. I mean, he's taken like chicken shit and made it into chicken salad.
True.
They've thrown all of these different concepts at him, whether they worked or not, and he's made them work. He's been in the ring with people who don't look like they can do anything, or in other matches haven't worked well. Look at what with Omos. That was a pretty decent match with Omos. And even through the pandemic, he was making it work. So Seth Rollins is my pick, hands down. Seth Rollins.
I completely forgot that AJ was actually on SmackDown, so that actually makes more sense now to put it on Seth. But apparently the Marvel, I was actually looking it up, the Marvel project is not very long, so between the two of them, yeah, I think Seth would be the one to go over. I absolutely despise the fucking song that he has with the fans going over, but it's over. I mean, it's just like I absolutely hate it, but whatever. I get it. It's just I just hate this Joker gimmick that he's trying to, like, him not taking matches too seriously. I just think it's annoying. The laugh like that.
But he does take these matches seriously.
It's just a warrior laugh, bro. It's just like it gets to me. He's
winning.
Man. He is winning,
How can somebody who's winning not take the matches seriously? And he's putting on good matches. It's not like he's coming out here and putting on bad. He put on a great match with Logan Paul.
Yes,
and I'm saying Logan Paul is a decent wrestler.
Yes,
but he's putting on great matches with everybody. He's just a head case. Like he went crazy and he's just never left that space. He's just making it work for him. And I hope that he stays in that little gray area.
I mean,
that I don't want to see him become a good guy like he did before. That was awful.
I mean, I thought he was good as a babyface, but he's obviously pretty good as a heel. But I just don't get this gimmick, man. When he comes out with clown shoes, He literally came out with clown shoes. I just can't take him serious. He looks ridiculous in these outfits. It's like he stole Becky Lynch's old gimmick. Like whatever these ridiculous outfit gimmicks are, he's just
winning.
trying to. I guess whatever. I get. We can talk about that as
He's
far
good
as
on the mic.
That's debatable, brother. I'm saying like I think. Okay, given to be fair,
he bad on the mic.
Oh, I think he's okay. I think he's the worst of the three Shield members on the microphone.
I mean, but that's not fair.
Oh, okay.
We're not comparing him to John Moxley now, because Roman's not as good as John Moxley. Completely fair.
You're about to get some of those dirty drones get argue about that, but so
I'm not saying that he's not good, because the things that he said, the Bloodline has been my favorite storyline since Roman has been back. Has it gotten stale at times? Yes. But I will say that it has consistently been one of my favorite storylines, and has Roman because if we're being honest, he was kind of shit in the beginning of when they were WWE was trying to push him as that good guy. We don't really need to go back down the suffer and succotash catchphrases that he was trying to get over. Oh, you didn't like the Blue Eyes Man? remember when he first came back? What did he say? What, smash him and leave?
Oh.
I come in, I smash him and I leave. That didn't get over either. So I mean, but his mic work and the things that he's saying, his backstage presence, just his presence overall, is fantastic. Like his character work is fantastic.
Well, so, to be fair, okay, I agree. Moxley has way more.
Their character work is great.
Moxley has way more freedom as far as creativity and also what he talks about. He is a fantastic worker. The difference between Dean Ambrose and John Moxley is night and day. It's not even close. Yes. It's not fair to say. You're right. I think if you put Roman Reigns on AEW and give him the hot mic, I'm pretty sure you can cut a hell of a promo too. So I mean that's fair. But
maybe Seth can as well. See, that's I think all three of the Shield members are good. See, I mean this is definitely a conversation for another day. But when people try to compare the Shield members, I think that personally, they all three of them have carved their own niche to where you say they've all been champions. They've all been multiple time champions. They've all had good reigns as champions. Not Dean Ambrose in WWE, but in AEW, he's had a great reigns as champion. Seth Rollins as corporate Seth, or whatever you want to call him, that was a fantastic reign when he had J&J and Randy Orton and Kane, corporate Kane and all. That was a fantastic reign, and he threatened to paralyzed Edge. That I thought that was really, really good. Mm-hmm. And then Roman Reigns, what he's been able to do, the way he talks to Jimmy and Jay and how he's on point, and like this. Imagine this Roman Reigns against John Cena.
Yeah, that'd have been something. But yeah, Roman for sure. Evolved? Yeah. He definitely evolved. But no, you're right. The Shield talk is definitely for another day for sure. But I guess obviously I'm a little bit now. Feel silly picking AJ, but I think probably Seth Rollins should be the one to go over. Can't wait to see Seth Rollins come on in his Sherbert outfits and his clown shoes with the title. Moving on. All right,
it's gonna be great.
Next match we have, we're moving on to as far as we have Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Vegas is siding with Brock Lesnar as a minus 225 favorite, and I agree, and I'll tell you why. This angle will likely conclude at SummerSlam for a best 2 out of 3. And I honestly think WWE had gotten more out of this than he anticipated. Cody is selling the arm injury going into Clash of Champions, and Brock will probably squash Cody to set up a third match and final match at SummerSlam. The other factor going into this feud is Cody will probably challenge the new belt after they wrap up with this storyline, and with Brock, as far as Cody going over as the Raw champion. So I would pick Cody as far as to once he challenges for the new title belt, he'll likely win. That's as far as my opinion. But and likely also when he does win, will challenge Roman at WrestleMania 40 and use the Raw belt as leverage. Am I overthinking this, D?
I think so for now, yes. Only because right now they're just telling a simple story of Cody having to earn his way back to the title. Regardless of how his path goes, I think he has to earn his way back. And I don't think it'll be for Seth Rollins' title. You see how I call it Seth Rollins' title, but I don't think it'll be for the WWE World Championship. only because then it becomes hollow, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because his story was not to beat Seth Rollins and to become the world heavyweight champion. His story was to beat Roman. He had the same dejected John Cena look after The Rock beat him. First feud was Brock Lesnar, same as The Rock. And I do agree with you that Brock Lesnar is probably going to win because the Kimura lock is always that insert why I'm not going to be able to beat Brock Lesnar this time.
Yeah.
John Cena, Triple H, whoever it is, you get in that Kimura lock and he does the whole snap. I broke his arm.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
no,
has
he's
actually
not.
broken
Triple
someone's
H didn't
arm.
have to
Yeah.
come into
Oh yeah.
it. So you're not going to. I don't think that Cody is. He even said that he survived last time. You know, he didn't. He didn't win. He survived. So I don't think that this is where it's time for him to get that win. I think Brock Lesnar is itching for a fight, as he says, and I think he's going to beat Cody's ass. I think it's going to be a short match.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mean, I guess this is for later on at some point, but I don't think that he should be challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that that should be something that goes on and just continues the previous World Heavyweight Championship lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Let other people fight for it because I think they just needed a title on Raw. It's hard to go another year without a title on Raw. However much you want to keep this on Roman, then at some point you have to try to split them up. And I think it's just easier to bring this title back and just merge the other ones and say, you know what, Roman will be the undisputed champion. He had it for this long. He's the longest reigning champion. But we're going on with the lineage of the WWE Championship and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you
So
this:
I
like,
don't and what's up?
as far as this match goes, like the first time when he wrestled at Puerto Rico, and if anyone has not seen that event, you have to watch. That is a must watch. But the match
Really
between the two of
cool.
them, do you think the cut when he went into the turnbuckle? Do you think they went into business for themselves, or was that just an unfortunate accident?
I think that it was meant to be blood. I do think that it was planned. That deep? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he was supposed to open himself up that much, but I do think that they were go. Cody matches are gonna have blood at some point, and I thought it was cool that it wasn't Cody this time. It was Brock.
Yeah.
Because it's usually Cody. So I think it was planned. I think it was
Mm-hmm.
definitely trying to mess with us because of the perception that we have of Cody, kind of like John Moxley. Like we expect John Moxley to bleed in every match he's in. I mean, at this point, I'm just tired of it. So when he doesn't bleed, I'm just like, oh shit, he didn't bleed. So that's how they kind of caught me. Like when Brock Lesnar bled, it was just like, this is interesting. Brock is bleeding. Where are they going with this? You know what I'm saying? And now that I see where they're going, I like it. I completely, I'm on board for it.
Yeah, we'll see. Like,
And for once,
yeah. Uh huh.
okay,
No, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, and for once, I'm just happy. Would this have been better with the title? Yes.
I agree.
Does it need? If he would have won it, it would have been better with the title. But looking at where both storylines are going and what has still been going on and transpired after the fact, it doesn't need the title. You know, so like I was one of those on the bandwagon of because I felt like that was the moment. Like I still
Mm-hmm.
don't think you're going to get a moment as big as that for Cody. But I will say that I am enjoying the storyline of Brock Lesnar just beating the hell out of Cody Rhodes, and we have no reason why. And I'm enjoying the other storyline with Roman still going
Yeah.
on with his title.
Yeah.
I just think that it
Mhm.
would have been better with. I would have loved to see Brock Lesnar really trying to get Cody for his title and Cody fighting tooth and nail to defend it from Brock.
Yeah, I agree with you. And if those who are wondering, D's actually talking about as far as him going over Roman at WrestleMania as the undisputed heavyweight champion. And I agree.
Yes.
That would have been way more intriguing as the main event with the two of them, with Cody limping into Night of Champions with a very pissed off Brock Lesnar, and just looking at him on my screen is just he seems a little bit slightly cross-eyed, but I would never tell that to his face. But yeah, I would.
Hell no, you won't.
That's not a man. That's a beast, as he calls himself. But no, I agree. I think that'd have been more interesting as far as him being a champion. But this I do think that they got way more out of this than they bargained for, because I had no interest.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but this is way better than I anticipated for it to, as far as currently what they have. And I don't think they're done milking this. So I think they need to have like a, I don't know, finale at SummerSlam for sure.
And let's be real. We're intrigued about a match that we have no understanding of why it's happening.
True. There's no
why.
Brock didn't explain why he did what he did.
No, so we have we know nothing. We have no reason to be intrigued into this match because there's no reason for it to be happening. Brock just came out, he beat up Cody, they had a match, and we still have no reason. I don't know why, but we're intrigued because it's Cody and it's Brock.
I mean, the only thing I can think of that would make sense is that maybe Brock Lesnar put money on Cody and he lost at WrestleMania. That would make so much sense. No, I don't know, but who knows? But it looked like he beat his ass like as if he owed him money. That's the only thing I can think of. But who knows? Who knows what the reason is?
And see, and I'm wondering also, is Triple H taking a page out of the AEW book, and is he going to reference things that happened in AEW? Because see, now he's becoming a part of this story, and with him becoming a part of the story, do they reference it? Is he the bad guy? Is he neutral? Is he going to play that role? Is it you broke my throne, huh? You thought that was funny?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Is it funny now that Brock Lesnar is breaking you? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I wonder where they're going with it, because I think that right now, if they had the title, Cody Rhodes could be limping in like Orange Cassidy. That's a story for another day.
That's for the next prediction show for sure.
Yeah, but Triple H could be a part. I hope that he's not. I want to see where it's going. I want to know the reasons why Brock is doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But I'm still here to watch Cody get his ass kicked.
So you're picking Brock then?
I like Cody. Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. I think he's gonna try to break the arm completely off him. He's gonna rip it off and beat him with it.
Probably. I mean. But yeah, you're right. I think they may save that for SummerSlam as far as the reasoning for it, because Brock is just absolutely terrifying, but as a man. But we shall see. I do think this will be a very short match, and I think that will play as a factor. Or they might write off Cody for a moment, and we'll see where it goes from that. But we shall see. But
would you want to do that after last year? He had to go with his pectoral injury.
A short write-off. Like, when is SummerSlam is in August, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, okay. Isn't it right before? Yeah, I think it's right before All Out.
I mean, it's a way to kind of sell it off as far as like Cody being injured by Brock Lesnar, and you know, you it's just to kind of make booking sense. I think that's what they should do, kind of write him off as far as being injured. But you're right. That is funny that Triple H tried to talk him into accepting the match, because he remembers when he used the sledgehammer to hit his throne. So I thought that was funny.
Oh, I'm hoping that they remember that. I'm hoping
they probably will. They'll probably
kind of like some blood sport. You break my record, I break you.
Like I break your friend. But anyway, all right. That's it. Moving on. And last but not least, we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Roman and Solo Sikoa. Vegas actually has Sami and KO as the odds-on favorites at minus 275. Now, at first, I was afraid of the idea of Roman being Roman 4 belts. But the way they've booked this match, it feels like WWE is focusing on the bloodline crumbling before our very eyes. That said, I have KO and Sami going over. But due to the Usos costing Roman and Solo the match. Who you got, D?
Yeah, I see it pretty much the same way. And it's funny because something about this is just fishy.
Yeah.
And they say they're into making moments, and they will get heat. We know if there's one thing WWE is not afraid of, is getting heat and giving a big old middle finger to the fans.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how much heat they would have if Roman had both those titles.
Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it.
He
Need
would have
heat, pal.
all the titles. Oh God. Like I do think that Sammy and KO are probably gonna go over because even WWE can't be that like crazy.
Stupid.
And see, and I'm gonna preface this by saying I agree with you that the Usos are probably going to cost them the match. But who is going to eat this pin? Is it going to be a disqualification?
That's my
Because remember,
guess.
you know how I already feel about Seth Rollins. Right now, Seth Rollins is one of the. I think he's the only person over the course of Roman's, tribal chief uh, thing, who has a champion, who has a win over him. It might not be a pin or submission. It's a disqualification, yes, but he's the only one. Do you give that to Sammy and KO?
I think what's going to happen is the same thing that happened the last time when you as far as told me that Roman, you should watch that Roman bump into Solo Sikoa, where the Usos jumped Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, where if the Usos, they're obviously not going to attack Roman off the bat. I think that's going to slowly a
No.
slow burn. I think they'll interfere and attack Sammy or Kevin and cost Roman and Solo the title, and then
Yeah.
that's when it's going to create cracks in the foundation. And I believe what ultimately they're trying to do or determine is who's going to face Roman at WrestleMania 40. And it's either right now a toss up between Cody or actually Sol Sokoa. So, which would be interesting. But I think, oh god, but now you're making me think if that they could possibly give the belts to Roman and Solo and then have them drop them in the future, but they might change their minds and just keep the belts on Roman, just make him this ridiculous like champion or the greatest of all time like look or whatever. But I don't know. Well, I'm curious to see how this goes, but I really hope they don't do that. But God, now you
Yeah,
got
I
me
don't think
thinking.
that they should. I don't think it'll be a good idea. I do think that it will be Sammy and KO only because you can't have Roman taking vacation and stuff, and then you don't have any championships on SmackDown. Because if he goes, then who do you have on SmackDown besides Austin Theory as
Oh
a
God.
champion in a rear and Bianca? Because Bianca
He-
would still be on if she wins. Whoever would be the women's champion, but you would have no male championships really if Roman has them. So it's kind of like a hey, you really should keep him on Sammy and KO because that makes the most sense just from having a visible champion there because you don't see Roman every week. So
True.
I'm going with Sammy and KO, even though can I see WWF giving us the big old middle finger and saying, "Ha ha, heat pal," and
Can't love it, dude.
Solo and Roman getting it? Oh man, I can so see it.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I
Yeah.
can see it. I can see it,
God.
and it's. I'm not here for it. I don't want to see it. I
I,
don't want to see
I
it.
definitely want to see if Roman and Solo win. I just cannot wait to see like the Wrestling Observer or Figure Four recap that just Brian Alvarez loses shit, and then just do his
Oh,
fucking Vince McMahon
Twitter's gonna
impersonation.
destroy itself.
Oh, dude, I'll send you a link to that.
Wrestling
Like, it's
Twitter would
fantastic.
destroy itself.
Oh, dude, social media would just go like molten. Like the Twitter would lose its mind for sure. But ironically enough, about Twitter, there was actually as far as someone created a page. What would they like to see? And I think a top match that was trending on Twitter was Solo Sikoa versus Rhea Ripley, which was funny when you said that about as far as Roman going for the women's side or whatever. But Solo versus Rhea Ripley, dude, I think Rhea Ripley could probably be one of these dudes. But that's just me.
I mean, see, my problem with it is that see, this is my problem with the whole with the intergender wrestling. I personally like it, but you can't have it in this climate because you're walking a thin line.
Woo, you're right. No, not at Jeddah for
You know,
sure.
you're walking. Well, I'm talking about just in general. You're walking a thin line, especially as far as WWE, who's really visible. You're walking a thin line of look at what they did. Just perfect example with that the shirt from Britt Baker with the black eye, and people were saying domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I think you're taking it a little too far. I mean, this is just what we know that there wasn't anything like that, but people are saying the optics of it. I personally like intergender wrestling. I think that like if you've ever watched Grace Jordan,
Jordan
Jordan
Grace, yeah.
Grace, yeah, or Tessa Blanchard. I know that she's a forbidden name nowadays, but when I don't condone the things that she's done and the things that she's said,
Hmm.
but her as a wrestler, she was amazing. Fighting for championship, fighting for the male championship, beating Sammy Callahan or Jordan Grace fighting for male championships. I think that is amazing, but I do think that when you're a company like WWE and you have all of these sponsorships, you have to walk that thin line.
Yeah, I guess.
So
Yeah, that's obviously another topic for another day. But WrestleMania
yeah.
42 in San Francisco, book it. So anyway, but anyway,
But
those are the
overall,
yeah.
I think that this is going to be an
It
interesting
it should
card.
be good.
I think that the lineup of matches are going to be great. I don't think that I'm looking on here, and honestly, I don't see a bad match on the card, and that's promising.
Mine is Rhea
My
Ripley
match of
and
the night is
Natalia, but yeah.
obviously I well see no, I think I think it's an unnecessary match. I think it's a match that had no booking, but I don't think it's going to be a bad match. Let's not act like Natalia is not a technical
No,
wrestler.
I'm not
She's
saying that.
great.
It's just no one expects her to win, but still,
Oh no,
yeah.
no, I don't mean as far as winning and losing. I just mean as far as good matches. I think we're gonna see some good matches on this card
Oh,
here.
yeah, absolutely. But this is for
Except for the
sure the.
Cody and Brock. I think it's just gonna
Oh,
be
that's gonna be a
a
bloodbath. We'll
beatdown.
see. Well, actually, no. I think the biggest bloodbath will be that Anarchy in the Arena, but that's for AEW's prediction show, which we'll
Oh
do
yeah.
for sure. That
Oof.
I'm sure you have a lot to talk
Looking
about for
forward to
AEW.
that one.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yes.
But for those, as far as like this is an absolute fantastic weekend for wrestling. If you're just a WWE fan, I strongly encourage you to open your mind as far as to other programmings, to AEW. To I think Impact is also doing tomorrow's pay per view, and also NXT. But
8
nobody
o'clock.
watches NXT.
Hey. Mello's money.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I'm a fan of Braun Baker, but
Mello don't
Gigi
miss.
Dolan too. I'm the biggest
Oh,
Gigi Dolan fan.
so see, yeah, we got a little bit. We need to brush up on it, but I mean, we watch a little bit more. We can do a prediction show for that as
Sure.
well.
If it improves, maybe we'll do one as far as a small recap. But I don't even know who's on the card. But the only one I think it's Dragunov and
That's
Dijakovic is
my
probably the one.
guy.
Yeah, that's probably the one match that does interest me. But because that's probably such a physical match. But we'll see. But anyway, those are the picks for Saturday afternoon's Clash of Champions in Jeddah. We'll be back again with another prediction show, as we just as far as hinted to earlier, with Sunday's AEW's Double or Nothing. Have a safe holiday weekend, everyone. Enjoy the shows. Like and subscribe. It also helps us out and encourages us to make more content. We will talk to you then. Say goodnight, D.
See you later.